Greetings, peace and prosperity. These are my fashion glasses. I think I look quite cool, but I might not. You guys give me some feedback. I've jumped on here to do a video because I feel really compelled to talk about this topic. I want to shout out the beautiful people that I'm working with at the moment. For those that don't know, by trade, my trade is cognitive behavioral therapy, and I look at the way in which somebody thinks, feels, and behaves, and look at patterns of how we maintain, consciously or unconsciously, or how we maintain anxiety, depression, stress, low self-esteem, that sort of thing, and others, panic, OCD, that sort of thing. And I've been working with people from different walks of life, which I absolutely love. And that's very important that I work with all different types of people. That's very important. My speciality is working with people from an African descent, people that look like me. And I particularly like working with individuals who look like me because of the systemic prejudice, oppressiveness, racism, whatever you want to call it, that happens. And I consider myself as culturally competent. And that's very important, that all therapists, regardless of their background, should always be culturally competent and be willing to talk about these types of challenges that people go through. There is a culture. If you're from the UK, lived in the UK, had education in the UK, and you are from a similar community, African or West Indian background or a non-European background, you might be able or might not, depending on who you are, relate to what I'm saying. And one of the things that we have to navigate is a culture of white oppression, and an inferiority complex can be built from that, regardless of our merits, our phenomena, and our genii or geniusness. I'm not trying to be grammatically correct here. I like to just be me, and I don't always I don't always use grammar in the right way, but that's absolutely fine. I know that English was not meant to be my first language, or it was meant to be, but originally in the past and my ancestry, it was definitely an African language. Anyway, my background is West Indian. I prefer to say West Indian because I know what the word and where the word Caribbean comes from. And I just try not to associate with that, but I don't judge anybody else that likes and prefers to use that terminology. That's absolutely fine. I'm just about pro-choice here. So let me bring it back to what I was saying initially about there is a white supremacy. I don't like to say supremacy because I'm not, there is no supreme, it's not supreme to me at all. So this white oppressive nature, this systemic and systematic racism that we have to endure, and it's not tangible. We can't always feel it, if that makes sense, or tangibly feel it, but we feel it here in our hearts, we feel it here in our heads, we feel it in our physiological experiences. And I hope the individual doesn't mind me using an example where there's different types of examples that we could use, but one that comes to mind is when white people say, oh, you know, make comments about your appearance, how you look, your hair texture, and they think it's okay and not racist at all. But one individual expressed to me that someone in a meeting said, it must take you a very long time you always have different hairstyles, it must take you a very long time to to prepare those hairstyles. I hope you're spending as much time on your work as you do on your hair. Now, historically, for those that don't know, people have not been taken into roles because of having certain types of hairstyles. Some people have been let go in certain type of organizations. Children have been excluded from school because of hair texture and hair types and hairstyles. And just because it is the hair, it doesn't mean that it's not racist. It is very racist indeed. Those individuals who don't have the same hair texture don't know and probably haven't done the research. Probably, I'm not sure if they have, but they usually haven't done the research in what it takes and how long it takes to do certain types of hairstyles. And it depends on how many times you've done and completed that hairstyle in that determines how long it takes. Some people it takes smaller amounts of time, some people it takes longer amounts of times. Regardless of that, we manage our own time in our own ways. And as long as the work is being done, whether it's at school, institutions, or organizational institutions, that shouldn't be a topic of conversation. Indirectly, it's saying that, you're different. I've noticed your difference. I'm going to mention your difference and kind of make you feel uncomfortable about it. And usually, from a therapeutics perspective or psychological perspective or psychoanalytical perspective, a lot of the times it's got a lot to do with the person making the racial comment that they've got insecurities. Sometimes, as Black people, when we're just in the room, we intimidate, we don't have to say a word, we just intimidate. It could be just our presence just intimidates. I'm saying this to also say melanin is condensed sunlight. I don't know how many people know this, who needs to hear this, but melanin is condensed sunlight. Sunlight in a liquid kind of form, but it does change its form regardless whether it's in our eyes, whether it's in our skin, whether it's in our hair. Melanin is everywhere. But condensed sunlight is what melanin effectively is. And I say this to say that there's a lot of people that don't like the sun. There's a lot of people that say, some people who are Black, some people who are Asian, some people are Eastern European, some people who are Caucasian, do not like the sun. It doesn't matter what skin. Some people just don't like the sun, and that's okay. People who've been born in a beautiful tropical place don't like the sun, and that's okay. That's okay. But don't disrespect the sun, because the sun helps plants to grow, to bring fruits and food. The sun is healing to a lot of people. And if I and people of my hue are condensed sunlight, potentially I'm healing to some people. I can bear fruit for others. Some people might not understand and understand and overstand what I'm trying to say, and that's okay. It's not for you. It's not for you, but I have to put this message out there. I want to also say that the sun doesn't like everybody. No disrespect to anybody. The sun burns some people. Not everybody, it doesn't burn everybody, but it burns some people. I'm having a call come through, so I'm not sure if you can hear me. We'll speak soon.